Is the feeling of being an outsider universally shared by all? There was a 7-year-old boy named Christian who never quite fit in at school because every so often he would move schools. In the poem Fences by Pat Mora, the narrator describes his family as outsiders towards the rich tourists at the beach next to their house. This is further explained by the narrator's mom when she states, "No, no, it's their beach, it's their beach." This relates to Catherine Mansfield's short story The Doll's House, where the little Kelvey girls are considered outsiders to the Burnell children because they are less fortunate. Additionally, Aunt Beryl tells the Burnell children, "You know as well as I do, you're not allowed to talk to the little Kelvey girls." Moreover, these two relate by stating that both the narrator's family in Fences and the little Kelvey girls are both outsiders in wealth. In addition, a similar case can be said with Alexandra Robin's argument Revenge of the Geeks. She explains how the geeks are lonely in school because they feel like outcasts. Robbins further explains this by interviewing an unnamed boy, in which he states, "I'm always lonely, so it's tough." In comparison, in Sherman Alexie's poem Sonnet with Bird, the narrator explains how being the only Native American in England was a sad, lonely feeling. He further elaborates this by stating, "This made me lonely, lonely enough to cry." These both express loneliness between the unnamed boy and the narrator of Sonnet with Bird, and how being lonely makes them feel like outsiders. These are some of the examples of being an outsider, but is this experience of being lonely and being an outcast universal? Once again, in Alexandra Robin's Revenge of the Geeks, the main point is that students' unique quirks make them outcasted by their peers because they are weird. Although in Isn't Everybody a Little Bit Weird, it states that Benjamin Franklin had many unique quirks that made him weird. For example, his air baths, in which he would sit in a room without any clothes for hours. Although Benjamin has weird characteristics like the students, he was a very important person and respected by many. One could argue that we don't know how people at the time fully thought of him and if they thought he was an outcast or not. The gen- is the general feeling of being an outcast experienced by all? Everybody experiences the feeling of being an outcast once in their lives. It could be a huge feeling of constantly being an outcast or a small feeling happening at once. In conclusion, the experience of being an outsider is universal.